You are listening to the 90 Days Later podcast with Anna Charles, episode 174. Welcome to the 90 Days Later podcast, where I show you how life with less alcohol is more fun than you think. I work with high achievers who struggle to drink a glass of wine without it turning into 2 bottles. I'm the one they call when they want to take it or leave it. So if you want to change your relationship with alcohol that doesn't involve counting days sober, you're in the right place. Hello everybody and welcome back to the podcast. Firstly, what a week. My goodness, a week ago today, the Off Switch book was released and I am thrilled to say it hit bestseller status in a number of categories on Amazon. Now that is amazing. I am so delighted. And of course, now the real work begins to really spread the word on this. And I hope I can count on your support for that. But for all of you who bought the book, thank you. You will be getting your ticket to the event. I'm going to be hosting the Q&A event. I'm going to be hosting in April. But yes, a wild ride. And I am currently recording the audiobook version of it. So if you prefer to listen, that will be coming out sometime in April. When I prepare the podcasts, I normally have a fairly tight script. I have the number of points that I know I'm going to hit because they're teaching moments. But today, I want to go a little off book. I want to do something a little different because I've been in quite a reflective mood this past week. And I really wanted to share that with you because I think this can resonate at any part of one's life and certainly any part of one's journey with changing a relationship with alcohol. Now, 5 years ago-ish, I mean, I don't ever actually really remember the time when I was like, this is the final time I'm going to really go at this and have success because, as you know, I do not count days sober or any of that jazz. But roughly about 5 years ago, I was still back in the old incarnation of Anna, the version who would struggle pretty much every day to not drink the wine or to hold back and just have the 2, who would worry, is there going to be enough wine for the weekend? Am I going to have to go to the shops? How can I do this without my husband thinking that, you know, I've got a problem? I mean, all of that jazz. I was deep in that. And yet, now, fast forward, not only am I free of that, but I have been coaching for a number of years. I have a roster of fantastic clients. I have a podcast I'm on episode 174, and I have a book, a best-selling book, on the topic that I never thought I'd be able to accomplish. I want you to think about this. I haven't built this business and everything around something that I was highly skilled at for 20 years. No. This was a change I made and fairly late in life, right? I'm not 22. So I want to use this for you all as an opportunity to really sit and really think about what you are capable of. I mean, had you asked me this question I'm about to ask, and I want you to answer this for yourself. Had you asked me back in the day in about 2020, around that time, how would you rate your life, Anna, out of 1 to 10? I'd have probably said it's a pretty good, solid 7 or 8. I mean, lovely marriage, lovely children, home, job, the whole thing. I mean, the whole thing, right? It was great. There was this one niggling thing that I couldn't seem to control, which was my consumption of French Chablis. But, you know, that was the drinking thing. And I will figure it out one day. I'll figure it out one day. I'll figure it out one day, right? But overall, it would have been 7 to 8. But what if? So I want you to do that first. I want you to ask yourself now, how would you rate your life on a scale of 1 to 10? And then I want you to think, what if your current life were actually, when you consider the whole span of your total life, it were only a 2? I mean, I look back and I think, yeah, I was rocking it. It was great. But I have such a bigger life now. I mean, for starters, not only am I doing something that actually really is meaningful. I mean, my coaching is so meaningful. It is so much more meaningful than anything I've achieved in corporate. But I'm doing this around the freedom with alcohol, and I don't have that pull every night, right? So it has freed me up so much time. I cannot tell you the amount of time that this is freed up. I mean, I really don't have to think about it anymore. And so when I look back and I think that was a 7 or 8, yeah, actually maybe it was only, it probably was only maybe who knows what it is in the grand scheme of things. It certainly wasn't a 7 or an 8. So how would you rank your life now? And then I want you to fast forward and consider what it might be in the whole scheme of your life. And what do you want for yourself? Right? I talk a lot about wanting to change one's relationship with alcohol. Absolutely. But what I will tell you is this is a far bigger conversation with yourself than just how many glasses of wine are you going to drink tonight and did you manage to do it? Right? Yes, I actually have a tracking app. There's an app related to the book called the Off Switch app. You can get that in the App Store and the Play Store. Yes, I do tracking. I think that's a piece of it, but it is only a piece of it. I am on a mission to change the conversation and by we, I mean society, we have around alcohol and overconsumption, and especially the people I represent, which is you, my wonderful listeners, like I was. Great lives that just have this thing, can't seem to control this one thing. I'm sick of people being shuffled towards AA and told that they are hopeless and they are powerless. And they are broken. I saw a post on Facebook last night. I think I must be broken, this person was saying. No. I fundamentally do not believe that. And I'm sick of this messaging. So I'm now on an even bigger trajectory with where I want to take my business and where I want to take 90 Days Later and the number of people I want to serve. But I want you to think about this, right? So my whole sphere of possibility is changing before my eyes. And it all started as the old Tintin. I love Tintin. There was, I think it was a US produced series of Tintin cartoons, and every single episode starts, it all started. So it all started with me just drinking less white wine. Really? I mean, my whole life from that point has blossomed from that. So I want you right now, as you are listening to me, and you might be thinking, yeah, that sounds good, Anna, but it was easier for you for this or this reason, or you're through it now, it's easy to look back. Yes, absolutely, but at the time it was not. At the time I didn't have this podcast. In fact, I had nothing. I mean, all the literature that I came across was AA, right? Recovery, all that jazz that was just never something I wanted. So you have me, you have my podcast. You can work with me one-on-one. You want to do this fast? That's the way. I was talking with somebody the other night who signed on as a client, and she said, I know I could go through every element of your podcast and implement, because she's already having success by just implementing what I talk about here. But that, how long is that going to take? So if you want to be done with this, if you really want to be, I was listening to a Rod Stewart record this morning. I told you I was going to really just vibe on today. There's the Georgie Boy song, right? We don't get another chance. Life is short. Want to get in there. So if you are sick of this drinking thing kind of being this cloud that follows you around, working with me one-on-one is going to be the way to shift that. That is available to you. My roster is filling up. The more people hear about me, the more clients I'm getting, but I do have a couple more spots opening in April. Anyhow, so you have that, right? You have access to me. You have access to my podcast, now my book, buy my book, tell people to buy my book, and you can work with me one-on-one. So you have these tools, and I want you to consider, if you were to avail yourself of these tools, what does that mean for your life? What could you achieve? What is possible for you? If it seems way too much to consider, I still want you to do it. I want you to right now just to sit and decide what would be really like an ultimate goal. What would an ultimate goal around alcohol be? That you never think about it again? That maybe you could just have one glass at a wedding? Make it specific, if you like. An ultimate goal. One that seems even out of reach. Right? Just get that in your mind now. Do this with me now as you're listening. You can do this even if you're driving. And now I want you to go there. I want you to go where that is totally possible. I mean, really, your brain will fight you on this. But I want you to close your eyes, or don't close your eyes if you're driving, obviously. But I want you to really go in your mind's eye to that point. And I want you to feel the feeling that you feel in that scenario. This is the amazing thing we can do with the brain. We can bring on these emotions just by how we think about things. And I want you to consider that that is totally possible for you. Right now, you do not know the way how. That is all. That is all. That is not an impediment. You do things all the time in your life that you don't know how to do until you've done it. All the time. You'll probably have something today. It is possible. It is possible to do this around alcohol, even if you've been struggling with this for years. Now is the time to act. Right now, in this present moment. Now is the time to go for it. And I do not mean in a, right, I'm really going to do it right now and nothing's going to stop me and I'm just going to willpower my way through not drinking. No, I don't mean that. I mean, now is the time to say, look, have a conversation with yourself. Look, like I did. Look, Anna, we're going to do this. We might not know how, but we're going to do this. And believe me, it is possible. It will feel like a miracle. It will feel like a miracle. It still feels like a miracle to me. But it is a miracle of your own making. It is one you trust, and it is not one you doubt. That is the life on the other side of this thing, which is changing your relationship with alcohol. So there we go. I just wanted to talk today about belief and about possibility, because I think it's powerful to reflect on just how capable we all are. So how capable are you? And what are you going to do about it? All right, that's my brief little podcast for this week. Please do buy my book. Please do tell people to buy my book. It's going to help change that whole conversation. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, then there is a link in the show notes, or you can go to 90dayslater.co and there's a link on the top right. Book a call. I will be delighted to speak with you. All right. Other than that, I will see you on the podcast next week. If you like what you're learning in the podcast and you want to take the work further and achieve total freedom around alcohol, let's talk. I help my clients stop reaching for that first 6 p.m. rolls around. Email me for more information on anna@90dayslater.co. And if you did enjoy the show, I'd really appreciate if you'd leave a rating and review to help others find the 90 Days Later podcast.